I was rich and didn't know it, but now it's too late to start over. Keisha Montgomery. That's my name. I spent 16 years as a hedge fund manager in Chicago, building portfolios worth hundreds of millions while my actual life crumbled in real time. If you want to know what happens when you chase numbers on a screen so hard that you forget what real richness feels like, hit that subscribe button. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't financial advice. It's a warning about what you don't see until it's gone. I didn't start out greedy. I started out hungry. Not for money exactly, for proof. Proof that the girl from the South Side who wore thrift store clothes to state school could compete with the Ivy League kids in their tailored suits. I wanted to be rich, sure, but more than that, I wanted to be undeniable. I wanted to walk into rooms and have people go quiet because they knew I was the best. That's what drove me at 24 when I got my first analyst position. Not greed, pride. And maybe that's worse. The work consumed me immediately. 70-hour weeks felt short. I'd arrive at the office at 6 in the morning, leave at midnight, sleep 4 hours, and do it again. My boyfriend at the time, Marcus, he'd text me around 8 p.m. asking if I was coming home. I'd see the message, tell myself I'd respond in 10 minutes, and then look up and it would be 1 in the morning. He lasted 8 months before he told me he felt like he was dating a ghost. I remember thinking he was being dramatic. I was building something. Didn't he understand? Turns out he understood perfectly. He understood I'd already chosen, and it wasn't him. By 28, I was a junior portfolio manager. By 32, I was running my own fund. $300 million in assets under management. Returns that made competitors sick with envy. Bonuses that cleared $1 million annually. I bought a penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan. I wore designer everything. I had a car service. People asked for my autograph at finance conferences. I was rich. By every metric society measures, I was winning. But here's what I didn't know I was rich in. Time with my parents before my dad got sick. Friendships that could have deepened into the kind that last 50 years. The ability to sleep without Ambien. A body that didn't ache in 12 different places by age 35. The chance to meet someone and build a life that wasn't scheduled around market volatility. I had all of that. I was so rich in those things. And I traded every single one of them for money I barely had time to spend. The turning point came on a Tuesday. I was 41. My mom called me at work, which she never did because she knew I hated interruptions. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. She was crying. My dad had collapsed. Heart attack. They were at Northwestern Memorial. Could I come? I told her I'd be there in 20 minutes. Then I looked at my screen. The market was tanking. I had positions I needed to manage. Real money. Client money. Millions at risk. I told myself I'd wrap up one trade. Just one. Make sure we weren't bleeding. It took 90 minutes. By the time I got to the hospital, my dad was stable but sedated. My mom looked at me like she didn't recognize me. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. My dad recovered. But something broke that day that I couldn't fix. I kept telling myself I'd slow down, that I'd achieved enough, that I was rich enough to start living. But I didn't. The money kept coming. The deals kept closing. And every time I thought about pulling back, I'd feel this panic. Like if I wasn't climbing, I was falling. So I climbed. And I missed my dad's 65th birthday dinner because I was in New York meeting with investors. I missed my college roommate's wedding because earnings season was brutal. I missed my own life because I was too busy getting rich. Then, at 43, I got sick. Nothing dramatic, just exhausted. The kind of exhausted where you sleep 10 hours and wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all. I ignored it for months. When I finally went to a doctor, she ran tests. Adrenal fatigue, chronic stress, borderline hypertension, vitamin deficiencies because I ate like a teenager. Whatever was fastest, whatever I could consume while reading reports. She asked me about my lifestyle. I told her the truth. She looked at me with something like pity and said, "You're destroying yourself for a job that will replace you the day you can't perform." I laughed it off. But that night, alone in my penthouse with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a city I barely experienced, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Fear. Not about the market, not about losing money, about losing time, about the fact that I was 43 years old, rich as hell, and had nothing but money. No partner, no kids. My parents were aging and I barely saw them. My closest relationship was with my assistant. I tried to remember the last time I'd laughed until I cried, or stayed up all night talking to someone, or felt excited about something that wasn't a trade. I couldn't. That's when I realized I was already living the nightmare I'd been running from my whole life. I thought being rich would mean freedom, security, options, but I'd built a prison made of luxury. I was rich in money and bankrupt in everything else. And the cruel joke? I didn't even enjoy the money. I just kept making more because that's what I knew how to do. It was the only thing I was good at. The only place I felt competent. Outside of work, I was nobody. Inside of work, I was a machine. I'd optimized myself right out of humanity. The anger came later. Rage at myself for being so stupid. For believing that success was the same thing as richness. For spending my 20s and 30s and early 40s chasing something that couldn't love me back. I'd see parents at the park with their kids and feel furious. Not at them, at myself. For thinking I had time, for believing I could delay life until after I was rich enough, successful enough, proven enough. But you can't delay life. Life is happening right now, and I missed it. I was so busy getting rich that I didn't notice I already was rich, in time, in health, in possibility, and I spent it all. I tried to make changes. I really did. Cut back to 50-hour weeks. Started saying no to some deals. Tried dating, but it felt performative. Like I was going through motions I didn't understand anymore. The men I met couldn't relate to my life, and I couldn't relate to theirs. I'd forgotten how to be interested in things that didn't involve markets. I'd forgotten how to be a person. I was rich, still making over $1 million a year, still respected in my field, and I was the loneliest I'd ever been. Now I'm 45. My parents are in their 70s. My dad's health is declining. I finally have all the money I thought I needed, and it's too late. Too late to have kids. Too late to build the kind of marriage that takes decades to deepen. Too late to go back and choose differently at 25, 30, 35. I look at my bank account and feel nothing. I was rich. I am rich. But I didn't know what richness was until I'd already spent it all on the wrong thing. People say it's never too late to start over. That's a lie rich people tell themselves. Some things are too late. You can't get back decades. You can't resurrect relationships you neglected into dust. You can't rewind your biology or recover time with people who are dying. Money can do a lot, but it can't do that. I know because I'm rich enough to buy almost anything, and the things I actually want aren't for sale. I was rich and didn't know it. Rich in parents who were healthy. Rich in years I could have used differently. Rich in the energy and hope and openness you have before life beats it out of you. I thought being rich meant having money. I was wrong. Being rich meant having time, and I spent all of it buying money. Now I'm standing here at 45 with millions in the bank and nothing that matters. That's not wealth. That's the world's most expensive poverty. If you're young and hungry and chasing success, I'm not going to tell you not to. Chase it. Build it. Make your money. But don't be stupid like I was. Don't trade everything. Don't tell yourself you'll live later after you're rich enough. You're already rich. Right now. In time, in health, in the people who love you before you disappoint them too many times. That's the wealth that matters. And once you spend it, you don't get it back. I know. I'm living proof. Rich and completely broke.